Hi, I'm Jory, and in this video, I will be talking about the topic of the dream state. While we are dreaming and in our dreams, our souls have the ability to travel to locations within the spirit and astral realms in order to receive certain information, insight, upgrades, downloads that are beneficial for the development and the growth of our souls and every aspect of our body, really. We have many aspects of our body that aren't only physical, but have to do with aura, have to do with energy, have to do with frequency, have to do with our light body, our astral body. There are many aspects of our bodies that we are not aware of, which is something that I will talk about in the next video, about these different planes of existences that we are not able to really perceive in the totality that they are with our conscious mind in 3D reality or in the on the earth, on the planet. People who exist in a fifth dimension, in a fifth dimensional state of consciousness and awareness, have the ability to sense and are more connected to these many parts and facets of themselves and their bodies, simply because they are mentally, spiritually, and vibrationally at a frequency of oneness that allows the perception. That was I feel like a police car alarm going off somewhere. I am outside. I'm recording this video outside early in the morning. So disregard any sounds that you might hear in the background, as I am just going to continue to record and deliver these messages that I am receiving, because I feel these are very important messages for a small group of people or even one person here listening. So, in my experience in the dream state of traveling to, before I even begin, let me drink my water. Let me drink some water and ground myself. It has been yesterday was a very creative day for me, and I could feel my soul going through a lot of processing and healing and upgrading as I received downloads and guidance from my spirit guides to go into this kind of hermit mode, this state of meditation and self-reflection that will allow me to be more in touch and connected to my true authentic self, and to be attracting into my reality and continue to attract all that is meant for me. Not only am I continuing to attract all that is meant for me, I am continuing to remain aligned with a vibrational frequency that allows me to dispel any unwanted energies, any energies that are currently attached or find themselves lingering around me. I find that in my in my time of deep reflection, in my time of deep healing through this dream state, through meditation, through really soaking in my own energy and existing as the source, I am disconnecting completely and totally from all energies besides my own, all connections besides my soul, heart, mind connection that can't be connected, that can't be disconnected, which is my twin flame connection. In my time of rejuvenating, in my time of self-care, I am essentially becoming new, and whatever has occurred in the past or the perceived past no longer has any effect on my energy, which is why I feel so refreshed and renewed after just being with myself, being in meditation, making use of the many meditative and spiritual practices that I have been doing and will continue to do as I am becoming me, becoming my true authentic self in this spiritual journey. This type of deep cleansing and deep healing is a very important process in upgrading, in stepping into new realities, in stepping into new consciousness and state of awarenesses, into receiving the necessary insights to catalyze spiritual awakening and soul growth, and all that is necessary to rid the body of those connections, those energies, those people, places in our lives that no longer serve the highest good of our souls, and that we find ourselves not needing, and that we find ourselves and our souls being weighed down, actually being weighed down by, in this spiritual journey of rising into that which we essentially are and have always been, the highest version of ourselves, the version of ourselves that before anyone told us who we were, tried to manipulate our energy, tried to steer us in the direction that they thought that we needed to be going in terms of our spiritual journey, our soul journey. Before all that, in this process of my journey, I am calling back to me my own energy, my own power, my own everything that is mine that has been leaking or that has been being siphoned by other people and places. If that is the case, I here and now affirm that I call back all of my energy, all of my power to my body, to myself, to me. No one has control over my own self, over my thoughts, over my energy, over my body. I am the only one with the authority in my life that decides what I will become, what I am becoming, what I am doing in my life, what I need. I am the only one who decides and gets a say in my spiritual journey and my physical journey here on earth, because I am the only one here living in my body, living here and seeing the world through my mind. I am the creator of my own reality. Affirm. I am the creator of my own reality. Affirm. I am the source of all the love that is me and that I experience in my life. Affirm. I am the source of all the love that is in me and that I experience in my life. I affirm that all energy that is not mine to be stored within me and to carry is released. Any and all energy that is not mine to carry is released. The past is let go. Affirm. I am now letting the past go. And any energetic ties to situations and people that have caused pain are let go. I am here and now releasing any energetic ties to situations and people that have caused pain in my life and in my soul journey. I affirm all unhealthy attachments are now dissolved completely and permanently. I am now dissolving completely and permanently all unhealthy attachments in my life. I forgive myself for any time I have unconsciously or consciously given my power away out of a state of simply not being aware or being manipulated or coerced into giving my power away, or even being aware. I forgive myself for the times I was aware of giving my power away. Affirm. I am now forgiving myself for any time I gave my power away in my life. I forgive myself for any time I betrayed myself. I am now reclaiming my inner light, my authority over my own energy. I am now visualizing the chords, the energetic connections to people, places, situations, beliefs that are draining me. I affirm I am now calling back all my power, all my inner light, and all my power and inner light is cleansed and renewed within me. I am now visualizing the severing of these cords being cut with scissors. I am imagining and visualizing these cords dissolving into light. As I am now cutting these cords, cutting these energetic ties to places, people, situations, energies that are draining me, I see all of my light retracting back into my body. I am whole. I am sovereign. And I am in control of my own fate. I am in control of my own path in my soul journey. in my spiritual path in life. I am now imagining myself surrounded by a golden light that prevents any negative energy from draining my own energy and from claiming my light. I am now visualizing and imagining a golden light surrounding me, preventing any negative energy from claiming my light and from siphoning my energy and from laying claim to my light. This golden light surrounding me is impenetrable. This golden light surrounding me is impenetrable, unable to be broken, unable to be dissolved. I am now visualizing and imagining a golden light surrounding me. This golden light keeps any negative energy from siphoning my energy, from laying claim to my energy, my light. I am visualizing and imagining this golden light surrounding me is and always is completely indestructible, keeping any and everything not the vibration of my frequency, not the vibration that my soul is, not aligned with my highest timeline, with my highest good, that does not serve me in every single way that I decide in my life. This golden light keeps anything not of this nature from contacting me, from summoning my energy, from being attached to my energy field. This golden light is unbreakable that I am imagining that is surrounding me. This golden light that I exude at all times, every day, even as I sleep, is always keeping me safe from any negative-oriented energies and energies that seek to attach themselves to my light and siphon my light and drain my energy. Here and now, I am sensing my energy is intact and safe. Now that I have consciously created this golden light that keeps me safe from any negative energy, any unwanted energy, and any energy that seeks to claim my light, that seeks to drain my energy, I will speak about my experience and insight into the dream state and spiritual astral realms that in these places work to do the same thing for the soul and every aspect of the light body and these bodies that we have. When I am asleep, when I am in deep rest, there are times when my soul is called to different locations in the spiritual and astral realm in order to meet spirit guides and in order to be upgraded, I'll say, and restored spiritually and energetically and in my body, in my light body, to receive deep healing and energy clearing. At first, I didn't consciously ask to travel to these places, yet this is possible to travel by consciously focusing and visualizing your soul traveling to certain locations and places within the spiritual and astral realm to receive this spiritual healing. In my experience, my astral body, my soul, my light body traveled to this realm where there was a long line of souls waiting to be cleansed and waiting to be upgraded by some source. There was no person that was physically the one that was doing the healing. This was instead a source that people passed through, that souls were passing through, that souls were coming into contact with, and through coming into contact with this sort of light energy, they were taking this energy into their body and becoming healed on many levels that was very spiritual in nature and wasn't really logical in the sense of going to the doctor and being like, hey, this part of me needs some attention. Instead, this energy, passing through this energy, healed the whole body. This light energy that is source automatically was aware of the blockages and the negative energies that may have been attached, everything that you needed in order for your body to experience a certain level of healing that was required and is required for your deep healing. Traveling in the astral realm, in the spiritual realm, through the dream state, you may arrive in many different locations. I know I have experienced going to different planets and seeing through the perspective of a body that I was incarnated into. Sometimes I didn't necessarily see myself, but I could see everything around me. And there were times when I was seeing myself with a kind of bird's eye view perspective, kind of seeing my life happening in another incarnation, on another planet, or in another realm of existence. And in these locations, there is much that you can gain and learn for this life, for the life. There is many things that I learned from my experiences in these different locations, in these different incarnations of myself. For instance, one time as I've said before in my last video, I experienced being incarnated into what we would perceive as an alien type body. So I was not a humanoid being, but I didn't really realize that, because I was in fact incarnated into a body that I in my dream state was perceiving as the normal, quote unquote, normal reality that was happening. I didn't really perceive myself to be alien until I woke up out of the dream and recalled the dream that I was having. In this particular instance, in this dream, I was in a grocery store, and I could tell that the grocery store was located someplace in the galaxy, because the grocery store didn't have a ceiling. The grocery store was humongous, and when I looked up, there was the darkness of space and there were stars above, so I could see that I was out in space, and I could sense that I was not on a planet like Earth, because I felt so close to the galaxy. The galaxy was closer than how I sense it here on Earth. I feel on Earth, the Earth is far away from, I won't say far away, but farther away from the actual galaxy, the site of the galaxy, than this location was. So I could see the stars more clearly. I could see the galaxy more closely, if that makes sense. And in this grocery store, I was pushing a cart, and I guess I was shopping. I just came into consciousness in that body, and that just happened to be where I was in that incarnation. That's what that's what that body was doing at that particular time when I came into consciousness and traveled to that body. What purpose did this serve? There may be many purposes. The fact is, I was not aware of that body, aware of that reality, aware of that location in the galaxy until I came into consciousness, into conscious awareness in my dream state of that specific life. So I understand that my soul is multidimensional, in the sense that I am living multiple different lives at the same time. And in this particular life, when I woke up from this dream, I felt an aspect of I felt fuller. I felt more whole within myself, because I was able to connect with this part of my existence that is happening right now. Everything is happening in the now. Everything that exists is happening right now. So every incarnation that you are in and have experienced and are experiencing is now. And just by receiving insight into this world, how this world looks, how this body feels, how this perspective of the galaxy looked and looks, I somehow was healed from just experiencing that. I somehow learned, my soul gained information just by being there and experiencing this, just normally being in a grocery store, pushing a cart. This grocery store was humongous and had no ceiling, and I guess I could read more into that. the reasons why I came into consciousness in that at that specific time in that specific location in the galaxy. Another time I found myself incarnated into a body somewhere else in the galaxy as I was traveling through the dream state into the spiritual and astral realms was when I came into consciousness as someone who was in a war. I was going through a war, and I had this weapon, and I was running, and I was in the middle of a battle, and I could feel myself. My body was in a state of what one would feel if they were in the middle of a battle, in the middle of a war. I was seeing the perspective of me escaping and trying to kill the people who were battling me, who in this war. And this is not the first time I incarnated into a body that was experiencing war, that was in the middle of a battle and was running away from the battle, or running and hiding to keep safe from whatever was going on. In these types of dreams, sometimes I am in the perspective of the person, very much physically feeling everything that this body in the incarnation is feeling, and sometimes I am watching from a bird's eye view the battle that is occurring. And I feel these dreams, I could also see different locations in the galaxy, different perspectives, and what's going on right at the moment of that something was happening. Something drastic is happening. So a lot of times I come into consciousness in a body where I feel like the body is in a state of panic, or the body is about to, I don't want to say about to die, because I don't experience the death. I don't experience dying in my dreams. I do experience, however, the battle and the war and what I feel like is the climax of some type of story in another incarnation, in another body. These climaxes in the story often represent for me a certain spiritual insight that is kind of unable to be explained with this language. However, in terms of spirituality, these points in the story in another being experienced in another incarnation, at the time they are experienced in another body, in a different location in the galaxy, on another realm, often has me wake up to a deeper insight and deeper understanding of myself when I awake from the dream. When I awake from the dream, there is something that in my body is something in my body has awoken. And this is in different ways, these different locations affecting me like this in the same way. So I am always being given spiritual insight and wisdom and upgrades and downloads that are serving the growth and development of my soul. I notice my most vivid dreams, the dreams I most remember, and that I still remember even if they occurred years ago, are in themselves experiences and things that I use in this life to understand this life I'm living now. These dreams are very real in the sense that they influence my mentality about life, my perception of the world, my perception of Earth, my perception of the galaxy, my understanding of myself as the source of all that I am experiencing. I understand that I am a multidimensional being, and that my experience is in this life, even though I'm on Earth, is not limited to this life on Earth. And there are lessons in that you gain in the dream state, that I gain in the dream state. There is healing to be had in the dream state that is unlike any earthly healing, though this type of healing can be sensed and existed in a state of meditation. The experience of being healed through the source is an entirely higher dimensional state of consciousness, higher vibrational frequency experience that alters one's perspective of what reality is, what the soul is. These kinds of experiences alter the ideas of what and who you really are, and opens your mind to possibilities and the nature of the multiverse or the universe.